because I fundamentally believe that we are on the same team. We must do more than talk about democratic values. We must live them. Now, within living memory of many of you in this room, the Cold War positioned defenders of democracy against much more tyrannical forces on this continent. And consider the side in that fight that censored dissidents, that closed churches, that canceled elections. Were they the good guys? Certainly not. And thank God they lost the Cold War. They lost because they neither valued nor respected all of the extraordinary blessings of liberty. The freedom to surprise, to make mistakes, to invent, to build. As it turns out, you can't mandate innovation or creativity, just as you can't force people what to think, what to feel, or what to believe. And we believe those things are certainly connected. And unfortunately, when I look at Europe today, it's sometimes not so clear what happened to some of the Cold War's winners. I look to Brussels, where EU commissars warn citizens that they intend to shut down social media during times of civil unrest the moment they spot what they've judged to be, quote, hateful content. Or to this very country, where police have carried out raids against citizens suspected of posting anti-feminist comments online as part of, quote, combating misogyny on the internet, a day of action. I look to Sweden, where 2 weeks ago the government convicted a Christian activist for participating in Koran burnings that resulted in his friend's murder. And as the judge in his case chillingly noted, Sweden's laws to supposedly protect free expression do not, in fact, grant, and I'm quoting, a free pass to do or say anything without risking offending the group that holds that belief. And perhaps most concerningly, I look to our very dear friends, the United Kingdom, where the backslide away from conscience rights has placed the basic liberties of religious Britons in particular in the crosshairs. A little over 2 years ago, the British government charged Adam Smith Connor, a 51-year-old physiotherapist and an Army veteran, with the heinous crime of standing 50 meters from an abortion clinic and silently praying for 3 minutes. Not obstructing anyone, not interacting with anyone, just silently praying on his own. And after British law enforcement spotted him and demanded to know what he was praying for, Adam replied simply, it was on behalf of the unborn son he and his former girlfriend had aborted years before. Now, the officers were not moved. Adam was found guilty of breaking the government's new buffer zones law, which criminalizes silent prayer and other actions that could influence a person's decision within 200 meters of an abortion facility. He was sentenced to pay thousands of pounds in legal costs to the prosecution. Now, I wish I could say that this was a fluke, a one-off crazy example of a badly written law being enacted against a single person. But no, this last October, just a few months ago, the Scottish government began distributing letters to citizens whose houses lay within so-called safe access zones, warning them that even private prayer within their own homes may amount to breaking the law. Naturally, the government urged readers to report any fellow citizen suspected guilty of thought crime. In Britain and across Europe, free speech, I fear, is in retreat. And in the interest of comedy, my friends, but also in the interest of truth, I will admit that sometimes the loudest voices for censorship have come not from within Europe, but from within my own country, where the prior administration threatened and bullied social media companies to censor so-called misinformation. Misinformation like, for example, the idea that coronavirus had likely leaked from a laboratory in China. Our own government encouraged private companies to silence people who dared to utter what turned out to be an obvious truth. So I come here today not just with an observation, but with an offer. And just as the Biden administration seemed desperate to silence people for speaking their minds, so the Trump administration will do precisely the opposite, and I hope that we can work together on that. In Washington, there is a new sheriff in town, and under Donald Trump's leadership, We may disagree with your views, but we will fight to defend your right to offer it in the public square, agree or disagree.
We in Finland know what it means to fight for your independence. We did it from 1939 to 1944. You are fighting for your independence. You're fighting for your rightful place with the West. I wish you, Ukraine, the best of independence. Slava Ukraini.
The level of interference by the Obama's government was very overwhelming. It's not as if I couldn't have won the election even with that. But if, by my own thinking, and also the way some other people look at it, they go outside the normal diplomatic relationship, then it should be mentioned. Sending that person to Nigeria at the eve of election, after Obama even issued a statement directing Nigerians to vote for the next chapter, that tells you something. And we should not sweep these things under the carpet. If a foreign country, whether African country or even America or any other country, interferes with our own elections, we should mention it. Immediately the Chibok issue came up, we expect Nigerians to be concerned. How do we get these girls out? Within a couple of days, we saw people going to the US would bring back our girls' placards. How? Why? And of course, the Mrs. Obama received one of those placards. I cannot take responsibility for the abduction. I don't control Boko Haram. They are criminals. But as a president, of course, you know, it's not the president that go to the field. You have security and intelligence officers that do the work. Let me admit that, yes, maybe they do their best, but their best was not good enough for us to recover the girls. That does not mean that I'm trying to remove myself from any blame. Yes, I may not be blamed for the action, but I could be blamed that my security and intelligence system were not strong enough to be able to rescue the girls.
Who gets some of that money? Does that name ring a bell to anybody in the room? Because your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding. If you think that the program under Operation Enduring Sentinel entitled Women's Scholarship Endowment, which receives $60 million annually, or the Young Women Lead, which gets about $5 million annually, is going to women who, by the way, if you read the Inspector General's report, is telling you that the Taliban does not allow women to speak in public. Yet somehow you're believing, and American people are supposed to believe, that this money is going for the betterment of the women in Afghanistan. It is not. You are funding terrorism, and it's coming through USAID. And it's not just Afghanistan, because Pakistan's right next door. USAID spent $840 million in the last 20 years on Pakistan's education-related program. It includes $136 million to build 120 schools, of which there is zero evidence that any of them were built. Why would there be any evidence? The Inspector General can't get in to see them. But you know what? We doubled down and spent $20 million from USAID to create educational television programs for children unable to attend the physical school. Yeah, they can't attend it because it doesn't exist. You paid for it. Somebody else got the money. You are paying for terrorism. This has got to end. I yield, Mr. Chairman.
Has happened to Finland today. As we are hearing, Simon Ekpa is making waves currently now as the governor of Ebonyi State faces ICC.
Yeah, that's very good. It's a welcome development by our Prime Minister in exile. I told people, you know, during my previous comment on social media that the brightest person we have now as nnamdikanu is Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko from Ebonyi State. You can see he has taken it up upon himself about the present, the most recent incursion, Fulani attack in Ebonyi State, killing over 16 people, setting how many buildings ablaze. Yet, the governor of that state, Ebonyi State, Nwafulu, has never seen anything on that perpetration, evil, wicked perpetration by the Fulani headers in Ebonyi State. He has, gone the length of at least budgeting or voting out over 500 million naira for the hedge, giving it to the Fulani Imam and Alpha in Ebonyi State. This is the highest perpetration of injustice any Igbo man could met against his brother in the recent time. Ebonyi people, I don't know where these people descended from. Are they from the same descentry from me, ancestry from me? No, because it is very uncalled for. The Fulanis are living within you. The enemies within has gone very far by annihilating the people of that state in their large number, and you still have that kind of effrontery to budget millions of naira for Hajj. Hajj in Mecca is it worth more than lives of Igbo men? Lives of 16 Igbo men that were disallowed during the Fulani headers incursion. They set how many buildings ablaze? How much did you budget to rebuild that community that was attacked by Fulani headers? What an ignorance! What an action, that is worth at least criticizing. It is a mere incursion by Fulani Morobas who came at night, killing, maiming, shooting everybody in that community. And it has caught attention of the international community. Even ICC, I believe they must do something about this. Ebonyi State governor must face ICC. Yes, that is the right action recently, if you ask me, that our Prime Minister in exile, Simon Ekpa, is going to take. The incursion, the people that cause incursion, they are the perpetrators and we know them. They are our common adversaries in southeastern Nigeria. They migrated from north and started to live among us, grabbing our lands by force. And we are telling them that we cannot stay with you. And they are still coming the more with introduction of what? Sharia law, Islamization. Islamize Nigeria, Islamize Southeast, Islamizing Southwestern Nigeria. And we the Igbos, we don't buy into that kind of hostility. You don't force your religion on me, I don't force mine on you. I mind my religion, you mind your own religion.
Dr. Ngozi Rabwe Simon Ekpa seems to be making a lot of weight in Finland concerning what happened of course, Ebonyi said a lockdown has been declared 13th and 14th, to mourn those who were killed. Still at that point, we are hearing that billions of dollars has been budgeted by the Arab world to invest in Ebonyi State in terms of building structures.
Yes, Saudi Arabia has come again because they are the one that are sponsoring Islamization of southeastern Nigeria with, by budgeting millions of dollars. The mosque that the youths attack, Saudi Arabia and Iran in conjunction has budgeted out millions of dollars to repair that mosque, which is why I'm inviting the like of Benjamin Netanyahu. The Igbo race, we are from the Jews, we are from Abraham. You should come to Southeast and see what these Arabs are doing on our land. It's another incursion. Incursion, yes, it is. If Saudi Arabia could at least budget millions to repair mosques, forgetting the families of the bereaved, the slain, the disallowed families, the victims, should be the one to have given money, not repairing of mosque. Mosque, my foot. Mosque is not worth human life. Mosque is not worth church. Mosque is not worth Igbo man. I'm telling you that Saudi, too, is guilty. To my highest surprise, United States of America, Israel should hear this. They should actually come to see what Arab has started earlier, recently, with those who have actually seen themselves as the masters of the Igbos. The Fulanis have succeeded on enslaving the southeastern governors, and I can see that it is right time, the high time, the state of Israel begin to understand that they should come to this part of the world, southeastern Nigeria, the Biafran land. The Arabs, they have started their incursion in large number. Before you know it, we'll actually see Hamas in the southeastern Nigeria. This is how it started with Turkey. And the Turkish people, they neglected it. The Kurds, until the Kurds, the entire Kurdish, were driven away from their region in Turkey today, very close to where Turkey and Iraq have border. And they took over the whole Turkey, Islamized the whole Turkey. Systematically, that is how Fulani is trying to Islamize southwestern Nigeria. From the axis of Ilorin, it has ended in Ogun State. From Ogun State, I'm seeing Osun State that is largely Muslim, Islamized. So that is how it began in the faraway Turkey, and we pray that we are going to prevail on these intruders, invaders called Fulani Morubas.
The Biafran government is no longer Biafran Republic government in exile. It is now called United States of Biafra. You know, in conjunction with other irrelevant authorities and security agencies around the world, which I don't want to mention, has already planted machinery to shut down 1,000 pieces of mosque plan to be built in Ebonyi State.
Yes, this is the beginning of a face-off between Igbos and the Hausa oligarchy, Fulani oligarchy, sorry, not Hausas. That Islamization, they swore they are going to do that, but I can see it is a failure. It has failed on an arrival. It's a failure on arrival. Igbo man can never be a Muslim. Building mosque in Igbo land is an abomination. We reject Islam in Jesus' name. Amen. It can't work. We are Christians. We can never practice a very strange religion from Arab world, and federal government, Ebonyi state government, Anambra state government, Enugu and Imo state are watching. You know, these governors of southeastern states, they are great threats to Igbo man. We've now begun to understand their plans. They are not there for you and I. They are there for the Fulanis. They are there for the Arab. They are there to Islamize Igbo land. To Fiakwa, it can't work. I'm telling you that plans are going on now among the Igbos in diaspora, led by our Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, and Ngozi Arabeze. We are going to stop them. We are the owner of the land, not the governors. If the governors want to build mosque, they will go and build mosque on their father's land, which cannot even last. Because at the end of the day, we are going to bring it down. It can never work. Israel must wake up now. I think it's a wake-up call to Donald Trump to come and see what is happening in Igbo land. The Islam, the Arab, they want to take over everywhere in Africa, everywhere in Europe, everywhere in America. It can't work. We are standing up against Islamization of southeastern Nigeria, and the construction of that mosque in Ebonyi State must abruptly come to an end. It's a dead on arrival agenda.
Okay, Omahi will also be fingered in this whole briglow, and they say the governor did not do anything to stop the Fulani last attack, even though he had privileged information. The reason why they are taking him to, ICC at this point, what message do you have for Biafrans all over the world, especially the way and resistance the whole world celebrated Mazen nnamdikanu outburst, confrontation, not arrogancy, in the Nigeria Shrine Court. He called them, your court is shrine. That's what Mazen nnamdikanu said.
It's a cultic. The courts in Nigeria here are highly occultic. And that's why nnamdikanu called the court here shrine. And it is actually a shrine. All the courts in Nigeria are shrine. Because they are not there for adjudication. The court is there to torment justice, towards justice, change justice, shortchange justice for injustice. That is what all the justices are doing. Look at the presiding justice, Binta Nyako, a criminal. Yes, that's what it means, because a case of mishandling of public funds, financial crime is hanging on her neck, and the same son, her son the same, and her husband the same. These are Fulani. This is a Fulani family who has committed in the past. They gave them federal project and the money disappeared. They mismanaged the money. So that's why they are using nnamdikanu to play gamble. And the gamble actually failed, because nnamdikanu come in with a document and actually challenge the Chief Justice that you have failed. Go and answer.
What a wonderful question, the anchor of this great platform. First and foremost, I want to say, Simon Ekpa has come out to say or has outlined countless times that he said that the Nigerian government cannot win Biafra with a barrel of gun for a second time. Now when he said that, see, Nigerian government cannot win Biafra with a barrel of gun, it means that nobody needs to die for them to exit Nigeria. Now, Ojogun fought Biafra in a different dimension. Now, nnamdikanu did it via his own dimension. So Ekpa is taking it globally. And now we've seen world body recognize Biafra. We've seen the UN and then some other global body have come out to endorse the Biafra struggle. So kudos to him, it is a plus. Some persons have come out to say that Simon Ekpa should be discredited, the likes of Ohane's and that of the southeastern governors. But my question is that you said Simon Ekpa should not be taken serious. Then who should be taken serious? The government who is not willing to protect our people? Is it the people who have refused to speak up when the Igbo man has been marginalized in the country? Is it the same governors who have become a tools in the hands of their Fulani master? So for you to even have a character like Simon Ekpa and nnamdikanu to have come out to say enough is enough, that we are tired of this contraption called one Nigerians. It shows that these people have this mindset that, see, they can no longer be the slave. So for him to have even gone as far as to hire lobbyists that will speak on behalf of Biafra in the world in the UN summit, to me it's a plus, and that alone, the voice of Biafrans will be heard globally, and the voice of an Igbo man is also being heard globally. Now let me take it back the line. When Southern Sudan and South Sudan wanted parted ways, nobody killed each other, nobody go through the route of violence. It was those